Pi Network just made the move that changes everything for every single pioneer watching this video right now, you know. You can now buy Pi directly with your regular money. No more complicated exchanges, no more conversion headaches, no more barriers keeping your friends and family out of Pi Network. This TransFi integration just went live with over 250 payment methods across 70+ countries. And I'm telling you right now, this is the breakthrough moment that separates Pi Network from every other cryptocurrency project struggling to survive, you know. Follow my Telegram and Facebook pages in the description below, because what I'm about to reveal next will show you exactly why this $41.81 billion valuation is just the beginning. Here's the bombshell that's going to make you understand why Pi Network is about to explode in ways most people can't even imagine yet. While everyone was doubting and losing hope, Pi Network quietly secured partnerships with legitimate financial institutions that have ISO 27001 certification and AICPA SOC accreditation, the same level of security as major banks, you know? This means right now as I'm speaking to you, anyone in 70+ countries can purchase Pi using bank transfers, credit cards, and local payment systems with the same ease as buying something on Amazon. But here's what nobody else is telling you about why this timing is absolutely perfect and what this means for the price action we're about to see, you know? Let me explain why this TransFi integration is absolutely massive for every Pi pioneer watching this video, and honestly, I think this could be the turning point we've all been praying for, you know. For months, many of you have been frustrated because buying Pi required multiple steps, converting through other cryptocurrencies, and dealing with complex platforms that made simple purchases feel impossible. And I totally get it because I've been there too, trying to help my own family members buy Pi. Now, with just a few clicks, anyone in over 70 countries can purchase Pi directly using bank transfers, credit cards, and even local e-wallets in their own currency, you know? This means your friends, family, and anyone you've been trying to introduce to Pi Network can now join without the technical barriers that used to scare them away. And from my experience, removing friction is what separates successful projects from failed ones. What makes this even more impressive is that TransFi didn't just randomly get chosen for this integration. And this is where I'm genuinely impressed with Pi Network's approach, you know. They passed Pi Network's strict Know Your Business verification process and earned ISO 27001 certification along with AICPA SOC accreditation. And let me tell you, having worked in the tech industry, these certifications are no joke. These aren't just fancy certificates, they represent the highest levels of security and regulatory compliance in the financial world, you know. This means Pi Network is working with legitimate, verified partners who meet international standards. And in my honest opinion, this should put to rest any concerns about the project's legitimacy and long-term vision that some of the skeptics have been spreading around. Now, let's talk numbers because they tell the real story. And I have to say, these figures are more impressive than I expected, you know. As of today, Pi is trading at 41 cents with a massive 24-hour trading volume of $91.53 million, and the fully diluted valuation sits at an impressive $41.81 billion, which honestly puts it in the same league as some major established cryptocurrencies. With over 7.75 billion Pi currently in circulation and this new direct purchase system, we're looking at a potential surge in demand that could significantly impact the price, you know. Think about it. When buying becomes this easy, more people will actually buy, and basic economics tells us what happens when demand increases while supply remains controlled. And from what I've seen in other projects, this kind of accessibility boost usually leads to serious price movement. This TransFi integration is particularly huge for Pi pioneers in emerging markets who have been struggling with complicated on-ramping processes, and I think this is where Pi Network really shows its commitment to being different from other crypto projects, you know? Now, users can enter the Pi ecosystem using their local payment systems without needing to convert through stablecoins or deal with third-party platforms that charge excessive fees, something I've personally experienced and found incredibly frustrating. This democratization of access means Pi Network is truly becoming the inclusive cryptocurrency it promised to be from day one, you know? The fact that TransFi supports over 40 global currencies shows Pi Network's commitment to serving users worldwide, not just those in wealthy countries with advanced banking systems. And honestly, this global approach is what makes me believe Pi Network has real staying power. The timing of this announcement couldn't be more perfect. And here's why every Pi pioneer needs to pay attention. In my opinion, this is Pi Network making their move while everyone else is distracted, you know. While other cryptocurrency projects are struggling with regulatory issues and user adoption challenges, Pi Network is quietly building the infrastructure that makes crypto accessible to everyday people, and I think this strategic approach is brilliant. This TransFi integration represents a massive step toward real-world utility, proving that Pi Network isn't just another speculative token, but a platform designed for actual use, you know. This move positions Pi Network ahead of many established cryptocurrencies that still rely on outdated and complicated purchasing processes, which often discourage mainstream adoption. By enabling users in over 70 countries to buy Pi directly with local payment methods, Pi Network is eliminating a major barrier that has held back other projects. In today's fast-moving crypto space, accessibility and ease of use are critical. People don't want to jump through hoops just to participate. From my analysis, the projects that simplify the user experience and reach real people first tend to gain long-term traction, because they're not just building for early adopters, but for mass adoption. Pi Network's integration with TransFi shows it's serious about delivering that kind of experience, and if it continues down this path, it could become one of the few crypto ecosystems to genuinely break through into everyday financial life. Based on this TransFi integration, we can expect to see several major developments in the coming months that will further strengthen Pi Network's position. And honestly, I'm more optimistic about Pi's future than I've been in months, you know. First, the simplified purchasing process will likely attract new users who were previously intimidated by cryptocurrency complexity. And trust me, I've talked to enough people to know that ease of use is everything. Second, increased accessibility should drive up trading volume and potentially stabilize the price at higher levels, you know. Third, this partnership proves Pi Network's ability to form relationships with legitimate financial service providers, which opens doors for future integrations with banks, payment processors, and other mainstream financial institutions. And in my experience, once these institutional partnerships start flowing, they create a snowball effect that's hard to stop. If this update has you as excited as it has me, smash that like button right now, and let me know in the comments what you think this means for Pi Network's future. Seriously, I read every single comment and I love hearing your perspectives, you know. Are you planning to use the TransFi integration to purchase more Pi, or do you think this will finally convince your skeptical friends to join the network? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell because I'll be covering every major Pi Network development as it happens. And trust me, based on what I'm seeing, there's a lot more exciting news coming your way. You know, your engagement helps this channel reach more Pi pioneers who need to hear about these crucial updates. So please share this video with anyone who's been asking questions about Pi Network's progress and legitimacy. Together, we can help restore confidence in this incredible project that I genuinely believe is going to change how the world thinks about cryptocurrency.